guide us in the way that is good and conducive to the city of Port St. Joe. We're in the process. Would you help our nation heal? And we ask these things in your name. Amen.
Amen. Now call this meeting of the Port St. Joe City Commission to order. First thing we have is the consent agenda. Regular commission meeting on 3/7/17. Need a motion to accept that?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Thursday, second by Commissioner Ashbrook. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. The proclamation is down at the ball field. It's being read by Jim Norton for the city. I was at the meeting today. So there is a proclamation of Veterans Appreciation Night, and also James Archibald Cox. There's a baseball game going on down there. That's going on. The city did a proclamation. I think the school system did some kind of proclamation too. And so we just wish the team well, the veterans well, and also Mr. Cox. So that's where we're at. Port St. Joe, Lee Butler, we have anybody here speak for him?
He's not here tonight. He said he was under the weather, Mayor.
Beach got new sand there. Beach has new sand.
Does it? Okay.
Things are looking good down there.
All right. Good deal. Mr. City Attorney.
Yeah, the only thing I have tonight, Mayor, is an update on the MACD, City of Port St. Joe and the Watleys. The parties had oral arguments in front of Judge Fisher last March 14th, and he has ordered that the parties file supplemental memorandums of law by this Friday, the 24th.
What does that mean?
It means that that's going to be the end of the proceedings, and it's going to be up to the judge to make a decision. And how long that is can vary.
Right. That's all you have for us?
That's all I have this evening.
Anybody have anything for our attorney?
Thank you.
Jim, you gonna talk about the planning board?
Yes, sir, sure
recommendation?
can. Yes, sir. The planning board met last Tuesday in reference to a developmental request for 325 Long Avenue for Mr. Jason Schoaf. If you'll turn over to page 6, it'll give that recommendation that came from the planning board.
I'll make a motion to accept the planning board recommendation.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Ashbrook, a second from Commissioner Rozier. Any further discussion?
The only thing I want to ask was, I guess, about them approving this, the land development orders, everything was reached in agreement with the land development order specified. Correct.
Sir.
And, everything at the LDR was met.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And this is gonna be fixed up with a little nice, of course, I'm sure. All right, any other discussion?
I've spoken to them, Mr. Andy Schoaf, he did mention he think he's gonna make it nice. I think it's good.
All right. Anybody in the audience have anything? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
First item, Mayor, we have in our old business utility billing deposit. The last meeting was requested that staff go back and find some of the area of deposits. It is all over the board. We see some that are from $50 to upwards of $300 on there.
I asked to bring this before the board, last meeting, the mayor wanted to get a little survey of the surrounding, communities, see if we were in line or what have you. And of course, everybody's got that on page 28. I think we would be in line by increasing our deposit requirement to $200. So that's what I would like to see us do.
And you went to Bay County, Windhaven, Panama City, Callaway, and then Port St. Joe.
Yes, sir.
And there was only one that was less than us, and then there's sewer more. I also went a little farther and called a few places myself. I talked with, Lunchtown. They charge $45. That's your deposit. It's $20 of that is for, return. Have a minimum of $11.69 if you don't use any water at all. In Bristol, I didn't get a hold of, Apalachicola, theirs is $150, and that includes everything. That includes turn-on fees and everything and your deposit. And, they thought that minimum was around $10, I wasn't sure. Then I went, talked with Carabel. They were $150, that included all turn-on fees, and that is if you're an owner of the property. If you're a renter, it costs a little more, because they said they had a lot of problems with renters moving out and not paying the bills, so they got it up to $225, and their minimum is $45. Now, talking to a few of these people, it brought to my attention that one problem that we probably have here is we don't cut people off fast enough, and we don't pay their bills. I mean, if you don't pay Duke Energy, what happens? They give you a reprieve? No. So yes, our fees will probably not cover 2 months worth of water bill. Why do we have to go 2 months? That's my question. Why can't we get closer to billing than that?
If we got the support of the board, we can do anything y'all wanna do, Mayor.
Jim, you told me earlier that you had kind of figured out what an average bill is in a month. What is that number?
Probably average $150 to $200 for an average.
And that's kind of where my head was at. It doesn't matter what other people are charging, we have our costs, and they vary from city to city. So we've got to cover our costs. And I'm with the mayor on this. If you don't pay your bill, we're going to cut you off. I'd like to see us shoot for maybe 150. I don't know if Commissioner Bezet is willing to bet on that at all, but I would be more in support at that level.
Yeah, I would consider that, yes, because, I mean, we can't compare ours to others. Our rates are higher, and we all know why they are, unfortunately. I wish it was back in the old days when it's about $25, but unfortunately, we got a new water plant we got to pay for.
I didn't vote for that thing.
Nobody on this board did.
I know, I don't think I'm listening.
Nobody on this board did, but that's neither here nor there, so, yeah, I could go along with, $150, I'll make that motion.
And then there's still gonna be a $35 charge on it after service charge, so you get to $185.
Commissioner Bezet too, would this be a motion to have staff draft an ordinance, because it would have to be.
Yeah, we got to do it by ordinance, no question about that.
Inclusive of that $35?
Right now, you have
It's-
separate, right now you have $100 deposit and a $35 turn-on
So
fee.
nothing, no change on the 35,
Just
just
going
the deposit.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion from Commissioner Zed, second from Commissioner Ashbrook. Any further discussion? No further discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Aye. Motion carries 3-2. And we're gonna be hiring anybody on this list, except Callaway.
Well, we do have to cover our costs, Mayor.
Well, maybe we need to cover it, I'm not letting so much water, if people don't pay their daggone bills.
That's why I had the utility workshop. I was trying to figure a way we could,
You know, I
we
was
could cut
up
that
there.
$180,000 that we have folks owe us, somehow keep it from going up.
Well, you know,
It's a no-win situation, Mayor. We gotta get it
I
solved.
guarantee you, our citizens are not gonna like it.
Well,
They're not gonna do it. They can't even drink the daggone water, let's be serious here.
no, we got good water, I think.
Not by the time it gets to a lot of people's houses because of the pipe. We got good water out of the plant, no doubt. Great water. But I'm still having people tell me they see discolored water from time to time. And I don't care what you say, the toilet bowls still turn, after they clean them, they still turn rust looking. I mean, I have people tell me this. They're not gonna lie to me. They're telling me the truth.
But what's
And we're
that?
gonna go with $50. That's all, you already voted, 3-2 in favor. Okay, let's move to something else. I don't like it, there ain't nothing I can do about it. I'm here for the people, I don't know what y'all here for. Let's go. What's next?
The next item we have is the boat ramp fees. Dr. May want to talk to you tonight about them.
Thank y'all for letting me speak just for a second. Did we ever finalize or read into law or whatever you call it, the ordinance.
It's being advertised, we're gonna do it at the next meeting, we'll have a second reading, and we'll adopt it.
Okay,
That's what the board wants
so
to
it's
do.
gonna happen next time?
Next meeting.
Okay, good deal.
We couldn't get an advertising time.
Okay.
Well, let me ask you something, we're agreeing on what we did last week, but what are the fees, I mean, that's all.
That's what I'm here to talk about.
That's,
Oh,
we're just talking about what we did last 2 weeks ago.
Well, what I wanna do is just kind of recap where we are, and then let y'all decide on some more stuff. So the ordinance was what we agreed on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
I
what
was
we're
just
talking
asking if
about?
it hadn't been done yet.
where the money can be spent.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that was all we did last week. So basically, I just wanted to touch base a little bit, tell y'all what I'm doing. I think I had some emails forwarded to y'all, and I just wanna try to get the ball rolling here.
And, I read mine and everything, I'm completely fine with it, except for at the bottom of it where it talks about penalties and
Yeah.
everything. That's not something that I would vote for, but hey, I think that we need to put a scare into it, so I kinda like where we're going with it. That's just not, the bottom line is not something.
Okay, so basically,
But I like the letter, I don't know.
okay, so I'm just gonna go through a couple things. One, I went and talked to Mike, and we kind of talked about trying to, the way I think that the best way to make money down there is to get people buying yearly passes, and then us email them every first of whatever month you wanna pick, because we don't need to do it, in my opinion, by a month. We need to just say, okay, all these passes start on April 1st or May the 1st, and every May 1st, the city goes through this process of renewing. That'd make it a lot simpler, in my opinion, for you guys, rather than try to do it each month. But, so what we're trying to do is, in my opinion, one of the good things to do would be to try to get people to buy yearly passes if they were not residents, and get their email, and it's just like buying a hunting license from the state of Florida right now. They send me an email 2 weeks before my hunting license expires, saying, re-up your hunting license, and I can do it online with them, but with us, hopefully we can send an envelope or something to them, and they can mail in their check, and, so what my vision is having this recurring revenue generating stream just by sending out emails. So that's one thing Mike and I were talking about. We're talking about maybe putting some stuff in the envelope when somebody does do a $10 launch, soliciting their email saying, would you like a yearly pass? If so, mail this in, and we'll get you on our renewal book, So that was one of the things we're working on.
I like it.
The other thing was, the sign, basically what I'm trying to do with the sign is make it very welcoming. Hey, welcome to Fort St. Joe, we're spending all this money, we got this great facility, it's gonna cost you a little bit, the money's gonna be spent in my opinion, most users don't mind paying a fee if they know the money they're spending is going towards what they're using. And so that's kind of part and parcel of this whole ordinance thing, and we can tell people, hey, this money's been generated for you, and it's gonna be used on the facilities that you're paying for. So I really think that's important to put that in the sign. Whether we want to get involved in penalties on the sign, I do think, in my opinion, that we need to come up with some, look, I love Carrot. I'm all about being positive, but let's face it, if Chief wasn't ever gonna write me a speeding ticket, I'd probably go 50 miles an hour down the middle of the road on Highway 98 and not worry about it. I mean, you gotta have the back end too. I mean, and it's important, in my opinion, that we educate people about the fact that, hey, we are gonna start enforcing this rule that we got. So whether we wanna do that on the sign or not, I mean, I'm gonna leave that up to y'all, but I personally think we should come up with some way of communicating to people that this is gonna happen. You know what I mean? So the other thing I would like to get you guys to be thinking about is getting a bigger box. I mean, that little box down there that big, I was down there twice last year, and people couldn't put any more money in, literally. So we need to appropriate the money for literally just a bigger box. I'd like to see a box, about the size of this thing. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I'm not kidding with you. I saw 2 different times when people could not cram another dollar into that box.
Can I interrupt you
Yes.
for a moment? Mike, how much money do we have in that boat ramp fund right now?
Is $27,000.
27,000. Guys, initially when we talked about doing this, I think I was on board and several of us had talked about, let's see how this works for a year or so, and I think now we've been doing it for 2 years. But I think we're getting to a point to where now we need to look into like a parking meter type box, where somebody can put their credit card in there. They can put cash in there, like a drink machine. This machine, I think we had John or somebody looked at some somebody looked at some numbers for
I
us.
looked into it when we initially started that, and the only problem with that is that they have to bring power, and then you have a monthly power bill, and so our expenses would go up, and then you have to have a credit card provider. So I could put that information back together and disseminate it out to everybody.
Could you do that?
Yeah.
We had to say,
I have that.
I'm all for that. I mean, I really think that we can spend a little bit of money just on a box. I mean,
And I
every
agree
weekend
with
we're
that.
not doing this, we're losing $1,000
What were you saying, John?
right now. I mean, the ramp was full on Friday and Saturday and Sunday, this weekend.
Just, my only thing was, Mike and I were talking, I'm not sure the environment's conducive for electronics. We're just throwing that out there.
It may not.
I'm not sure I'd spend any kind of money for something like that in the salt one that's going to go under.
I mean, I've seen those ticket machines out at Cocoa Beach. I was down there at the Space Center a couple weeks ago, and they're everywhere. You don't park unless you pay.
Right.
And they're everywhere.
And they have them in Key West.
Put in your
I mean,
credit card,
they're on
screenshot a
the
ticket,
water,
put it in
so,
your
I
windshield.
mean,
The city manager, went to Destin and they had one over there and they actually had arms.
Yeah.
Went down and put the
So,
money.
William, I'm all for doing that. I think all that's good. I think we could start with just a bigger box and then let's move to that.
I do too, and I think we need to, if you guys don't mind, staff, to start researching percentage rate on a credit card. What kind of machine would be conducive to those elements down there?
Yeah, I've got a lot of that information gathered, and I'd be.
And if you would, maybe bring it back in 2 weeks, Mike, and let's look at it and see, because we see it works now. Now we need to make it more user-friendly.
We're gonna be tearing the ground up, let's run utilities.
There you go. And this might be the time to do it.
No, it is the time to do it. That's the thing. That's why I've been pushing this thing all the time. Now's the time to do it. And so, absolutely, I'm all for all of this kind of stuff. I just was a little scared about putting too much on the table at one time, but I think, look, what are we generating down there today?
It's about 26,000 a year is what we've done.
Yeah, so I mean, I think we're gonna triple that if we do what I've got proposed. I mean, that's my goal.
Credit card
And
machine.
most people have debit cards now instead of cash.
Look, and
We're missing all those.
There's just a lot of things we can do to make it work, but now, I do want to say this, so sign is important. Modifying the envelope, Mike and I talked about, box, trying to facilitate a yearly pass, where we come up with an amount of money for a yearly pass and solicit that, trying to get more and more people on that program. But here's where I see this thing having problems. If we don't educate our residents to the fact that they need to come down there and get them a decal permit, and then they go down there and park, and we ask the chief to come down there and spot check twice a day, and we start writing tickets to local residents, and they start raising Cain, it's gonna create a bunch of trouble for all of us. So I think it's critical that we spend a little bit of money up front educating our citizens, hey, come get your permit, it's free, it doesn't cost you a penny, come get it, you gotta have it this year. If you don't have it, you're gonna get a ticket. I mean, I don't know how to do that other than put it in the Star and put it out on the radio, but I mean, that's the only way I can see this thing becoming a headache, is if you guys got some of your constituents calling you up saying, hey, you know what, I got a ticket, I live in St. Joe, and yada, yada, yada. So, however, we need to educate our citizens of the county and the city. We need to invest a little bit up front in doing that, so everybody knows that this is for real this time. The last thing I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna get out of y'all's hair, we need to be thinking about what we're gonna ask the chief and his people to do as far as enforcing this regulation. I don't think we need to be mean to anybody. I think we need to be super hospitable to every single citizen, every single tourist that comes into town. We wanna make them feel welcome. But at the end of the day, we gotta have some way of letting these people know, hey, this really is a real rule, and you actually do have to follow the rule here. So, okay. I'm working with these guys, and we're moving forward. So I do want y'all to think about what you want on this sign. Okay? Because I mean, if you don't mind, William, I mean, did you guys get the email that? If y'all don't mind, strike something out, add it to it, because I want to get this sign printed.
The language is good, Doc, but what I'm gonna tell you, it's the enforcement that's gonna be tough. I don't know that these guys can enforce that. One, we're not staffed to do that. They can't hang out in the program all day. We've got a little
Well,
bit
I
of
think it's a
other
conversation. I'm not asking them to hang out all day,
things.
but
But what I'm telling
if
you
somebody
is, when
circles
you've
through that
got,
parking lot twice a day,
when you've got people that are sworn in to their jobs. I don't know that they can do that.
You can't enforce the city ordinance.
City, that's code.
We never
I think
made
that's
it.
code.
But I mean, assuming that this is something
We
that the
would
city
have to
wants
find a
do.
code enforcement officer that works full-time or two to enforce it. That's what I'm
So-
saying. I don't know that the police department can handle that. Legally, I don't think that they can.
So the city, they can't write a traffic ticket in the city.
Yeah,
limits of
because
Fort
that's a
St.
state
Joe?
violation. Am I wrong? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, chief.
And I have to be honest with you, I haven't read the ordinance, so I don't know. But if there's not any teeth in that ordinance that says this is the fine for parking at the boat ramp, we have no authority to write a ticket,
We're just
and
not
we
there
don't
yet.
have a ticket to write. I mean, the city's going to have to come up with a ticket. There's no state law or state
Right.
statute that gives us the authority to write a ticket to anybody for anything at that boat ramp other than overnight. We have an overnight parking, overnight camping ordinance. There's nothing else.
I agree, that's gonna have to change.
That's my only
I mean,
fear is that we.
And I don't-
It should be a fear. I mean, that's why you have that's why you have local law enforcement. I mean, do we have city litter laws?
Because it then go to the county court, I mean, what if you wanna contest the ticket?
I mean,
You're going to have to set all that up. All that's going to have to be set up, just
Yeah.
like a code,
This is gonna have to
code
go through the
enforcement
same
officer.
court system as the magistrate. I mean, if there's a code violation, it goes to the magistrate, and this is what court is gonna have to go to. So we've gotta have a code enforcement officer that's full-time to do that. I mean, it's just.
Anyway, I don't mean to take up y'all's time, but when you say you gotta have a code enforcement officer, so the city commission can't make a rule that can be enforced by the city police?
I'm not an attorney.
The president can't find no orders that get done.
I mean, how are you guys gonna, cut somebody's water off if they don't pay the
I
water
mean, how
bill?
many parking tickets have you got since you've lived here?
None.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a local.
There's something.
But now, I do know this, we used to have parking meters down there in
Sure.
Reed Avenue when I was growing up, and you got a ticket from the city policeman if you didn't put nickels in that
And
thing.
all I'm saying is it can happen. We just have to set the system in place, and it may cost an extra staff person. to do
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not gonna
Mexico
start.
Beach does, they're doing something in Mexico Beach, they've got somebody there for boat ramp, writing tickets for folks in that plan, so they've got something going, so we deal with some.
Let me just say
And
this,
they
that
have a
I have a
part-
lot of
code
connections
enforcement
to
officer.
Mexico Beach. The board is hated for that, the people are hated for that, the law enforcement's hated for that, the tourism hates the police out there because of just that. When I put this in place, I never put it in place to hard time anybody. So if we're drawing $27,000 a year, and we can put some things in place to draw $35,000 a year, I'm all for it. You talking about tripling it? I'm not worried about tripling it.
Okay,
Because let me tell you something, for 50-something years, the people of our community that don't even own boats have spent their tax money upkeeping that boat ramp. They don't even have boats, but they've upkept that community for 50 years.
and now they don't
My
have
idea-
to.
That's right, my idea behind it was though, Dusty, was to draw in a certain amount of money so that we can upkeep that boat ramp. We're not even spending everything we've got. We're fixing to get $800,000 worth of improvements. In time, our amount of maintenance is gonna go up, I'm sure. But we're not trying to get rich. We're not trying to turn this, we're trying to keep everybody happy. We're trying to bring people to our community, and we're not trying to penalize people because. of
So in
one
other
thing or
words, the
other.
whole thing is just voluntary right now.
Absolutely.
Okay,
It's truly.
all right.
And it has been that way since day one.
Hey, look, you know what? You guys make the rules. If that's what it is, if it's just a voluntary thing,
It is.
then I don't know what to tell you. I mean, because it seems to me like it'd be ridiculous to spend 20 grand on a credit card machine if everybody knows that it's just.
Nobody
just-
thought it was broke in this community until one man said something, and you came up here, and you're the only person I've heard that doesn't like the way this is going.
Wait a minute, William. Stop right there.
No, I'm not
I am here
stopping.
for
I'm
one
tired
reason.
of it.
I'm here for one reason. I'm trying to make the city a better place.
We didn't ask for your help to make it a better
You
place.
sure didn't. I was volunteering.
That's right.
Yeah.
But
And
let me
I
tell
really
you
thought I
something.
could come up here and help out the city of
And
Fort
you
St. Joe.
have, but enough's enough, Dusty.
Okay. If you think that the thing just needs to be
Why aren't you
voluntary,
putting your boat in down at the marina anymore?
I've sold my boat.
So why are you so worried about the boat ramp?
Look, William.
William, let me say.
Can I say something? I know, Rex, I want to say it, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
There are people, me being one of them, that feels like I have an obligation for this community to make it a better place. I ain't making a nickel off of this. I'm not drawing any money. I've already spent my own money and own time doing it. I don't have any corporation or any subcontracting that I'm gonna cut 10% off the top like a lot. I mean, this is just me trying to make Port St. Joe a better place. I know a little bit about the boat ramp. I know a little bit about what happens around boat ramps. I've been to other cities. I see our waterfront area. I have a vision for this community. It takes money to run these operations. As a steward of the resources of Port St. Joe, you guys have an incumbent responsibility to be good stewards. And a good steward is somebody who makes the most out of the assets or blessings that they were given. We've got this boat ramp down there. We've got this unbelievable facility. It's fixing to be that much nicer. You owe it to the citizens of this community to make the most out of that piece of property down there and that gift that we're given. And this bay and the river swamp and everything else that's around here. You guys are elected to be good stewards of those particular things. Those are assets of our community. If we sit up here and don't do our job to try to reach that perfect balance that treats every single tourist that comes down here with great hospitality, but on the other hand, doesn't make our citizens subsidize the things that those tourists are doing, then we're not doing our job. And just sitting back and saying, well, having a voluntary program down there is all I ever want, that can be your opinion, but I don't think that's being a good steward of the city's assets.
But you're the only one I've heard from that says that. You said you have all these people. Tell you where they at tonight. If it's not broke, don't fix it. And I don't see where it's broke.
William, that's the problem we have now if we get volunteers. But just treating a volunteer like Dusty, like you're treating, and I think it's wrong.
I mean, because I got a million other things I can be
He's
doing.
just trying to help.
I'm just trying to help. I don't have any vested interest in one way or another. I'm not gonna get a nickel of this money. I just think the city could use it to make the city a better place.
And you know what, Rex, I guess you hear from a different clientele than I do. I know for a fact that's true.
All right, but while we talking on the boat ramp, I wanna, talk about what we're gonna do for safety down there for Destiny. We gotta think of what we're gonna do.
I know there's some signs that were recently put up.
Can I talk about that for a minute, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
Okay. I've had this on my mind. It's been hard on my mind ever since this happened. We had an unfortunate incident down the boat ramp. And, so I took it upon myself to work with Mr. John Howell, with all respect. And we talked about, and I wrote myself a few notes because I couldn't remember the names of everything that was called, but some thermoplastic rumble strips on that road, so that we're also getting visual and people are hearing that rumble when they come up to it. I don't think this is the long-term solution, but I do think that we will take it to a different safety level by doing this. After speaking with the guys through Broad Spectrum and everything, on top of doing that, putting some take the signs down, the current signs we have now, the dead end signs, and put some high intensity type signs up there. Through talking with Mr. Howell and Broad Spectrum, they have agreed to pay for the rumble strips and the signage too, I believe. I'm not sure on that part, but at a cost at all to the city. Eventually, I do think that we need to look for an alternative route into that boat ramp instead of a straight shot. But that's very, very costly for us to do that. If it's okay with you guys, for a first step on this, I would like to talk to Mr. John Howell and see, and let's try what I've talked to him about with the rumble strip down and some high intensity visual signs to go down there. And let's just see. And listen, I'm not making any suggestions on it because I'm not saying I'm right, but this is what I've done. It costs the city taxpayers no money at all.
I mean, I agree with you, Commissioner, that it's something we can do now. I spoke with our city attorney the other day about possibly, let's make, when you're coming down 71, you can either go right or left. Let's not make that through traffic. Let's say you can't go this way unless you turn off. The problem is people are on 71, they might think they're headed to Weewall and they missed it, they didn't notice it. And they just drive right through that light thinking it's still a highway. Maybe letting them know that you can't go straight forward. You gotta come off on the side to get back into the boat ramp. It is possibly another step. If we can get this part done for free, anything more that we can do is better than what we've got now.
What about a flashing light?
Got 'em.
Where?
We just put some up.
Oh,
Yeah, they just put them up.
Well, I mean, there's one on each side.
It says,
would that not be sufficient? I mean, the strips you talking about? I've mentioned to a couple people that don't want the boats to use.
it's not speed bumps though, Mr. Mayor.
No, it's
just
not,
little
and you know,
vibrating.
here's the thing, if your boat right there, if you have to put a little bit more grease in your hubs to save a life here and there, they're not speed bumps, they're rumble strip boats. And I'm all for that, Bo, because, I mean, that's a heartbreaker to me. I know it is for everybody, I don't know of anything else we can do that's cost effective, and that, in my understanding through talking to these guys that do this for a living, that they need to be able to see and hear to get the most effect out of the feeling.
Just one more sentence, exactly, say stop.
And they gonna do this free for us?
Free.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
They won't.
I think it was,
I mean, it's gotta be a bottom line.
you know, I think it was a heartbreaker to those guys too, and I mean, we had a really good relationship with them.
Yeah, they are good guys.
No, I mean, I talked to them and they were just heartbroken over the situation, same as we were.
Commissioner, what magnitude are they gonna, I mean, gonna put those rumble strips? Because I know they, at night, those things can be loud and, I mean, to the surrounding area.
John,
I know it's
you know
downtown,
that, you remember what I was telling you, some of the stuff y'all made notes on, some I didn't.
are they gonna just do like one set or two sets
There's 3 sets.
Three sets is the way I understood it, Brad.
on both sides, one side?
Just on the,
Just going in.
usually going in.
We got yellow lights down there now or red lights?
Red.
Flashing, one on each side? I like that, but how much that cost?
When we bought them, because they were bought for First Street, and we had no turn on the red.
They run on battery operated?
You're never gonna make it 100% safe.
Yeah,
Anything that we can do.
Something needs to be done.
I mean, if we can add tactile sensation to it to make it stop, we're doing what we can. I can't make people stop driving off the road. Just no way. But we can make it a little bit easier.
I don't have a problem with it, as long as they work with John and the chief, you know, to put them in the right, their opinion, the proper place that would deter or slow down. I'm all for
We need a motion, it's no cost. We just,
As long as everybody's on board.
I would say, I mean, if you don't need 3 sets, I mean, just at y'all's discretion, just look at it. I mean,
It's a pretty long road. I don't think 3 would be out.
If you come across that light when 55 and 60,
You don't have
you'll
time.
stop with a rumble strip.
No.
But if you see a flashing light, you might say, what is that?
No, but everyone assimilates rumble strips to a stop sign. Think about it. So when you hear that, you know, there's a stop sign somewhere.
Yeah, right there at 73 and 71,
Right there,
there north of Wewall, before you
386.
round that curve, you start.
Yeah, 386 and 71.
There's 3 sets of them there.
So that's what most people should trigger.
I don't see any reason to not go out and take a look.
I guess it will, always take them back up.
That's right.
If they don't work right.
I think everybody's on board. So
Yeah.
We'll see what we can do.
Would you move forward with that, talking about on that tomorrow, maybe?
All right, the next item we have is the utility billing write-off policy. Commissioner Thursby, want to talk to you tonight about it.
Guys, late Friday afternoon, I realized there was some issues with the write-off policy, the way it was written up. I wasn't looking at it because beforehand, I didn't maybe understand the way it was being done, so I've had some changes made to it. I got, our attorney today, he got it to me today. Instead of trying to get it out here and on the agenda today, what I've done is I've got a copy for everybody. I'm gonna put it in y'all's mailbox tomorrow, and if y'all look it over in 2 weeks, I'd like to bring it back to vote on it.
The next item we have is the Commerce Park lot utilities. At our last meeting, we approved for our guys to relocate the water and sewer. Guys called in locates, guess what, found a gas line, so we had to talk with the guys at the gas company to figure out what our options are. I talked to, Mr. Schoaf yesterday, he's trying to work us up a quote as to what we're looking at to relocate a gas line if it's possible or not, so.
Jim, do you have any earthly idea what that might cost? Because I know we're at about 75.
We're at about 7 for hours, so I would figure at least that for them, and that's not including any labor for us, that's
Guys,
gratis for us.
this is the reason why I voted against selling that lot, because of the, I mean, I voted for it, but I voted against it due to the fact that we had to spend another $7,500 on moving these lines. Now we're looking at another possible, yeah, so,
I don't know, it'll probably be more than that, what I've been told.
so again, I'm not for selling it if they want us to remove these lines.
Is the deal done? So,
No, they,
no, but it's still.
Contingent on moving.
I got you.
We do an extension.
You know, the thing is, guys, it's gonna never sell with those things on there. Yeah, and I still stand behind this, you know, if we're gonna keep that piece of property, we pay, it's $1,000 to $1,500 a year.
Between $15,000 and $2,000
And I
a year.
hate to bring this up, but we're supposed to be in Commerce Park. The only way to access our lot is from Water Plant Road. I would think we would have a strong case to not pay those dues every year because we have no access from Commerce Park.
I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you.
And we did try that years ago,
How long have we had this lot? 10 years?
2004, 2005.
So how much money have you think, I just ballpark, have we already put into this lot that right now,
$15,000, $20,000.
I mean, if we're gonna keep this lot, we need to look into that because we're spending good money after bad money.
We did, we looked at that initially, and there, years ago, we sent a letter over to the Joe Company asking for, because we felt we were getting no amenities out of it. And basically, they told us we knew that when the lot was bought.
Does Joe represent the HOA?
They are the HOA, yes. They have control over it, yes.
And that's why I think we need to spend the money and go ahead and get rid of the lot. It's not doing us any good. It appears it's a dumping ground for others. We get something out of it instead of keep paying out. And that's,
I tend to agree with you, let's plug the leak.
yeah. And so I think we need to wait and see what the gas company's
I
in
gotta
charge
get the numbers,
to
Steve. I don't know.
that gas line, because like Commissioner Thurman said, we're not gonna ever sell it unless we get rid of all that stuff.
As soon as
We
I get
just
some numbers,
table
I
this
get,
for 2 weeks.
as soon as I get the numbers, I get them to you.
And to move the line, it might cost $50.
I don't know. Because,
Or 20.
Y'all might change your mind.
Yeah, let's table this. for
Yeah,
2
we
weeks.
don't have
I'd
enough
rather get
information.
something for it than nothing.
Yeah, let's get some numbers.
That's my feeling.
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. On the new business, first item we have is a utility bill. Mr. Warren Wall want to talk to you tonight about it. To kind of give you a history of what it was on there, if he's gone. Mr. Wall had a roughly $261 water and sewer bill. Basically, he had 3 days of high usage on there. We could never figure out why, but it did do a data log and it showed 3 days of excessive usage on there. Mr. Wall felt that he didn't do anything that would create those excessive uses on there. By the old policy, it allowed for us to do a 6-month average for an unconfirmed water leak. So we took off about $50, so his current bill is about $211. He used, I think it was about 13,000 gallons is what he used that month, which is higher than what he normally would have used. Something had happened for him.
Which policy are we under right now? Which water policy we follow?
We voted last meeting to go back to the old one.
Alright, so what is this?
If you took the new
$261
policy-
8 times his normal?
Because he said he did not have a leak, so that new policy would not apply. Today, if he would have came in here today with that situation in there, the policy says you have to show where you had a leak. You gotta bring in a part, or you got some kind of documentation.
And that's part of the, changes that I made, with our attorney, Hill, to, change that reading in there. So maybe Mr. Wall can bring this back to us at a later date if
Okay, the next item we have is Duke Energy LED lighting plan proposal. Duke Energy has been asking us to convert all of our street lights over to LED, which I think is a good idea. Should save us on the police department having to go out and check to see which lights are going bad or should last longer, should be more effective. The question we've asked from Duke Energy was to try to give us a little more cost sharing. If you'll flip over to let's see what page is it on, page 29, you'll see what we currently pay a month and what they are proposing. What they're wanting to do is go up on your rental because of the equipment they're putting in. They would cover those costs on there. But at the end of the day, you're looking at about a $200 a month savings. We've asked the staff level for them to try to give us a better reduction, but I haven't seen it.
Jim, I love the idea of going to LED. I mean, it's saving them a lot more money than it's saving us.
It is.
And if we could have staff take a look at that and see if we can't save $1,000 a month, that'd be great. Or any more savings than what we're offering. $200 is a joke, really.
I don't think they're gonna give us any more, but I think it's one of the things we try to
I
ask
think
for.
we need to ask, otherwise you'll never know.
That, I would say just, tell them that we feel like $6,000 a month would be a fair, possibly a fair amount. That would be $855 less than we're paying now, close to what, just round figures.
Sure.
Throw it out and see what.
If they'll agree with that, then we'll agree to allow them to change them on there.
We'll start negotiations, see what we get.
Jim, no other costs though.
No, sir, from what they told us, this was the cost, this is what you're currently paying, this is what the new costs were, and they said they would come in and make the upgrades for us. If you look at it, what they did was, if you look at the monthly maintenance fees on there, they went up on that, I believe, is where they're gonna cover their costs for those upgrades.
So worst case scenario, we save $2,400 a year.
Yes, sir. If you don't add any more lights.
That's good.
I'm fine. Is that,
We need a motion on that tonight,
We can, if you want to, and then I'll bring it to them, tell them, hey, look, we said we could do it for 6, and they may balk at it, and we'll come back and
I'll make
negotiate.
a motion for staff to renegotiate and try to save us a little more money.
Right, got a motion from Commissioner Ashbrook, have a second. Second from Commissioner Rosetti. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 5-0.
The next item we have, 4th of July fireworks. It won't be long. It's time to start thinking about it and ordering it up, gentlemen. What we have in the budget currently is $12,500. Last year, we put on a $15,000 show. That's about $1,000 a miss, which you're probably looking at for your fireworks estimate. That's if without inflation. So basically, we have, in the past, the TDCs gave us $5,000, and the city's got in the budget, so that's where that 12.5 came in. I would try to get it to a $15,000 show again. I think anything more than that, people kind of lose interest, but at the same time, you got to at least keep the attention span for
What do
15
you think
minutes.
we're
That
efficient?
includes TDC then?
The 12.5 does, yes, ma'am.
So we're short 2,500.
If the TDC is able to give the $5,000 this year.
wait, what do we budget?
7,500,
City,
yes, sir.
and then we need another.
How do you feel about the TDC?
I'll work on it.
I would recommend ordering to go ahead and get the $15,000 show
I
last
would be
year.
comfortable go ahead and making a motion to order $15,000 worth of fireworks. Worst case scenario, we'll come up with 2,500 out of the BT fund to make
Figure it out.
make it work.
Okay.
That is a motion.
All right, we got a motion from Commissioner Ashbrook, we have a second.
I say,
Second by Commissioner Lowry. Any further discussion?
Yeah, a little bit. Are we gonna try to, obviously try to negotiate with TDC and get a little more than on 5,000? I think we got 5,000 fireworks last year, and a $10,000 loan they threw to us for something, I forgot what that was. So we got a total of 15 out of TDC last year.
That's what I said, for a total of 15, taking out money up to 15, if we need to make some slack. But I think Commissioner Lowry is gonna
What I'm
double
getting
what
at,
we're
I'd
gonna
rather not take any money out of our coffers. I'd rather it come from the TDC.
get, as would we all.
So, anyway, that's my discussion on it.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign, vote. Passes 4-1.
No, it's 5.
Mayor, was that 4-1 or 5-0? Who was the nay? You, thank you, sir.
I think CDC ought to pay all of it.
Noted.
All right, the next item we
They
have,
get out of the city from bed tax, about more than 15 grand a year. That's why I advocate to have the city's own TDC one day, maybe. Anyway, moving on.
the next item we have, Mayor, is administrative leave policy. It's on page 30 for your consideration tonight.
Gentlemen, I'll be the first to speak on it.
All right.
I'm 100% against it. It has nothing to do with any individual, it's taxpayer dollars. We'll just say a county commissioner in this county gets about $40,000 a year. That's, round figures, that's not exact. If we have an employee of the city that happens to be a county commissioner, he gets leave time, but he'll have to take his own leave time, but that's paid leave time. That's paid leave time. He's still getting his salary if he goes on a county trip from the county. He's getting his leave time from the city, and he's getting reimbursed for his travel on a county trip. So I can't see us spending taxpayer dollars that way. The person is also, the leave time he has, if it's accruing, the city will have to pay that when he retires also. So I think the city is very generous, but we're also conservative. We've been conservative, and I think we need to stay that way. It doesn't matter to me what anybody else does. This is the city, and we're responsible for the city. So I would just say leave it like it is.
Any discussion?
I got some. I think this don't really affect just one person. It affects a school board member as well. That's on our workforce, Mr. John Wright. Mr. Sandy Quinn as well. Not particularly in this place, but I mean, it pays dividends for elected officials to work in certain areas. I mean, for an example, myself, I work for the county. It pays dividends for me to work here and serve at the city or at the county. It pays bigger dividends for Mr. Rogers serving at the county level and working for us, the city, in my belief. And I feel strongly about that, and I'm for this administrative leave policy.
I'm not, I didn't bring up any names, because I'm looking in the future, and we change the policy that affects from going forward, not just these two individuals that have it. And more so, you brought up two individuals, that's gonna cost the city twice as much if we change this policy, so I just feel like we need to leave it like it is and go on.
Anybody else?
I would just say that, I've done the math in my head, and trust me, this is one of these decisions that none of us up here want to make. I've weighed the pros and the cons, and I truly do believe that the benefit of having people representing us in other boards outweigh the cost, and it's not that much. I mean, I did the math. Getting help removing the bridge the other day. Maybe if we had upset the cart, they might not have helped with that. Right, that one project alone, if we had to go out for bid, would have cost us more money than what this policy is going to wind up costing us. So I think that there's something to be said for taking a vote for the greater good, and I support this policy.
I'll agree with you on that, Mr. Ashbrook.
My take on it is,
You're supporting the policy that's changed.
Presented,
The
correct?
change.
As presented.
Now, what's moving the bridge have to do with?
I'm just saying that we had assistance from county people, and And so we're talking about.
We
allowing people
always
to
have a
serve.
good relationship with the county, no matter, we had it before we had anybody that represented there.
We have somebody representing us now.
Yeah, but that bridge there, was.
Well,
had
that's
nothing to
just,
do with
I
this
threw that out,
program.
I'm sorry, but,
But anyway,
it took 2 years to get moved, so I'm still excited about it.
well, that's great, but I don't think it has a relationship with what we're talking about.
I disagree. I think as long as you've got municipalities that get along with each other and don't fight, you get things done at a much easier pace.
And I
Well,
can
why
promise
would
you
this
things-
make us not get along with the county?
I don't necessarily telling you it might not get along with the county. What I'm saying is it makes things easier in getting things done.
Can I say something?
Sure.
Both of these gentlemen work for me in public works, and I just wanna say this to get it off my chest, because my vote doesn't matter, it's not a vote, but I don't like it, and I told both of these individuals that to their face. I didn't like it, I don't agree with it, simply because of the representation. You can't represent one or the other, in fact, you have to abstain. If you're a city employee, you can't vote on something that happened in the city, vice versa. So, what it will effectively do for me, and I just think this should be a consideration, is it's gonna cause risk within my department. Because someone's getting paid here and they're getting paid there. So, just remember that, and consider it, if you have employees come up and say, well, I've gotta take vacation. These guys don't. So, on the surface, it does sound great, but there's a lot of, a few more deeper things to consider. And again, I'm gonna be the one dealing with that.
And we set limits on how much administrative leave, somebody, an elected official that works for us, he comes to the supervisor and say, I gotta take leave, I'm going wherever, in the county.
I mean, one went to Washington for a week.
Right, but that's what I'm saying, do we wanna add some limits to this policy that we're talking about? So it can't be carte blanche and create problems in the future where we may have an elected official that may wanna go somewhere every month.
The way it's written, it's Jim's discretion.
Ooh, he don't.
It's, if he sees an issue, that it's being,
I think policy should be black and white, and that's why you start doing discretion, and that puts a lot of problems on the city manager or the supervisor or whoever it may be. I think if we do a policy, it should be black and white, and that way it takes all the politics out of it. It's just, this is the way it is, and that's the way the board voted to do it. I'm talking nothing.
Yeah, this might be a good opportunity, maybe to throw this out there too. This was a discussion me and Mr. Anderson had, about a month or so ago regarding the personnel policy. Might be a good time for us to look at that entire policy, to revise a lot of different things that were in there. And I'll say this, departmental transfers and promotions, we want to promote them within, that's in our policy. But in order to do that, we have to follow the steps that were set forth, just as though you hire a brand new employee. Even if you have a competent employee within your staff, or maybe the board plan, or someone else that, you can move, we're just not allowed to do that based on the current constraints and policy. So maybe we sit back and look at the entire policy, which hasn't been revised since 1991. And maybe we incorporate all this in.
The county does do it, school board does do it, and, ask the question, well, if they do it, why do you have to do it? I agree with some of the other guys, I think having someone work for the city that's on a county commission, or vice versa, which way it is, helps either unity, either helps the city or helps the county. And I do think we have a good working relationship with the county now. And I'll have to disagree with Commissioner Zinn, it's something we haven't had. We have not had that. I can attest to that. There are members of the county who didn't meet with us. So, I mean, this board is taking a bold step and making sure we get along with our counterparts from the county for the benefit of everybody, every citizen in the city and the county. So without us working together, nothing gets working together, things does get done.
So you're saying the county wants us to change this policy?
No, I ain't talking county.
Well, that's,
Don't put words in my mouth, cause I ain't said that at all.
that's what it sounds like.
Well, I can't help how you interpret what I say, Grant. Whatever you do,
But-
Commissioner, you can interpret me any way you wanna interpret me, cause I don't go but one way.
I can clear it up in one quick sentence. It's good for the goose, and good for the gander. If, here's a great example. If our county commission is going up and they're fighting for triumph funds for our county, we're gonna get residuals from that. We're gonna see that money coming in, and I guarantee you the amount of money that this is gonna cost us isn't gonna compare to the amount of money that they may be able to bring into this community. And
I just
so,
don't think some of us are looking at the big picture.
and that's,
What the county can do for this city with this BP and triumph money.
And that's why I say it pays big dividends to have a county commission as a city employee.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve this policy change.
Is this for both, the school board official as well as the county official?
As written,
It looks like it's the whole policy.
the elected officials, so anyone that's elected.
We have a motion, Commissioner Ashbrook, we have a second.
I'll say.
Second, Commissioner Lowry. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Likewise, motion passes 4-1.
Next item we have tonight, Mayor, is Avenue D sidewalks. Commissioner Thursby want to talk to us tonight about it.
Yeah, guys, about 3-4 years ago, or 3 years ago, I had a lady that talked to us about the sidewalks on Avenue D to Hodrick, or Hodrick to Avenue D. And, I got with Mr. Grantman, he went and pulled some numbers for me, I think things have gone up just a little bit, not that much. The cost I'm looking at for this project, and, you know, I've been promising these people, y'all for 3 years to get this done, because it isn't a safety issue, walking to that dollar store on through there. And, we're looking at $4,500 possibly, somewhere in that. That's all we're looking at.
That's cheap.
Done this 2 months ago.
Y'all, I would love to see us, if y'all would, I'd like to make the motion for us to move forward with that. And, let me work with staff on, where to get the money from. And, if we can't find some in the budget, then we may have to back up fund and, take it from BP fund or something. But I would like to, get with Mike and Jim and John, let's look and see where we have some money at.
Commissioner, you talking the entirety of Avenue D?
No,
Just the front
From
side?
Hodrick to MLK.
By the dollar.
If you could, if someone makes a motion, just not to exceed maybe 5, just.
You're pretty confident on that figure?
Fairly common 45, 46-ish, but I would recommend doing
Something.
not to exceed 5.
Quick reading wheelbarrow time.
And
It sounds like.
It's a lot of quick.
If we approve doing this, when will we do it?
It's not bad timing, given where we're at with other projects, so it could happen relatively soon.
After the fountains.
Yes, that's what I'm.
So my motion, yes, is about
We
that.
got money somewhere that says use it, is another thing.
Well, and I'm fine with that too, I just didn't know if we had any money anywhere other than that. Can you, one of you guys tell me that, Mike, can you real quick?
I mean, he's got 6,000 left in repair and maintenance of equipment,
We ain't taking
but he's not gonna be able to use that. He's only got $2,000 left in materials and supplies.
I make a motion that we take $5,000, not to exceed $5,000 from BP funds, and, you know, if this hadn't been a project that's been sitting on the back table for 3 years, I wouldn't look at it that way. I would probably wait for budget time and just try to budget that money.
It's been a while.
But it's been 3 years, y'all, and I have promised people, and I haven't been able to fulfill my promise because of the money, so.
Your motion is to spend $5,000 to redo the sidewalks on Hodrick and Martin Luther King.
Right.
All right, we have a motion, we have a second. Second by Commissioner Brazil. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries 5-0. All right.
The next item we have is a 3-way stop at Oak Grove Avenue and Cabell. Commissioner Bezette want to talk to you tonight about it.
Yes, sir, we have another, potential hazard, at the Scout Hut, Cub Scout huts on one side of the street, and my 2 grandsons are on the other side of the street. And, the cars turn off of, Gautier, heading to Oak Grove, and they get up pretty good speed before they, get to the next stop sign, which is, they're flying by the scout hut and,
You only have one stop sign down now.
the only stop sign is Cabell right there facing the scout hut. There's no stop sign, on Oak Grove, Avenue in the city. So I talked to the chief, he looked at it, he didn't see any problem with it. There are children there. There's one house that has two adults living in it. And, so I sit out there and shoot basketball with my grandson and a little scout fellow there, Fisher Vandertulip, he's in the audience, and I don't know how many times that ball rolls out the street, and they're heading out there to get it, scared them to death. And, all you have to do is go by there sometime and sit around, and you can see how fast cars go by there.
Commissioner, is there a specific time of day? I mean, I've been down there many times and haven't seen it in person, but I'm assuming during, when school starts and out, gets out.
It's mostly on the weekends and when school's out.
Okay.
You know, Scoutmaster, Mr. Vandertulip, I asked him to come today if he, could, Bill, you mind coming up and giving some times on, of course, you're there about every day, but,
Sure. As the commissioner said, it's from the weekends and when school lets out, immediately after when school lets out. We have a program that's been growing, and we have 30 Cub Scouts over the 5 days there, and then we have Boy Scouts at night. So we always have kids running around. Now they're supposed to be starting a new program where we're gonna have even littler guys involved. And yeah, they do run around, you know how it is, they're just going. And yeah, the kids do pick up some speed going up and down the roads out in front of there. So it is a hazard, I have seen it, and, you know, kids will be kids, they run out, they'll dart out, they're gonna get nailed.
I'm fine with it. I was just trying to get some times for Chief to maybe take a look out there, see if we can find some habitual offenders.
well, yeah. We'll find them all up down Fifth Street and a lot of other places when I work on Mondays.
So we're talking about two stop signs there, right?
Two stop signs.
One already there.
Yeah, you know, two stop signs, that's it.
I'll make a motion.
All right. Got a motion from Commissioner Haskins, and a second.
Second for discussion.
Second from Commissioner Lowry for discussion.
I'm on board with the commissioner. I just hope everybody here is on board due to the fact that we're gonna catch a little bit of heat and want us to take them down. Y'all know how it goes. So,
When we're talking child safety, I'm all for the heat that you can give them.
okay.
And I agree with you, we're going to. But we're talking, like you said, we're talking children, and those children they're our children, everybody.
I just want them there to
I
stay.
agree,
Yeah,
exactly.
me too. And the two houses across from the street work for me, so they won't complain.
All right, any further discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion passes 5-0.
Last item I have on tonight is the proposed short-term rental legislature. Commissioner Ashbrook is going to talk to you tonight about it.
Yeah, you know, my original plan tonight was to ask for permission to go to Tallahassee and lobby our representatives. There is some legislation proposed right now that I'm pretty sure nobody in here would be too excited about. And essentially, it is to take control away from local municipalities from designating areas for vacation rental properties. We're set because we have had an ordinance in place before 2014. But going forward, the state wants to pull control back to Tallahassee. So in essence, if we ever wanted to change our R2B zoning, we would have to allow short-term vacation rentals to pop up. Your neighbor could be having a big old spring break party from having a rental at their house, and you wouldn't be able to say anything about it. So me personally, and I think this whole board would rather have control of where vacation rental properties can be. I'll urge you, if you've grabbed a packet, to contact the people that are championing this bill and give them a call. I have spoken to our representative and our senator about it, and I've got some pretty good feelings that it's not going to go very far, but it is in the packet for you to look at, and please contact them. You don't want to lose local control over where vacation rental houses can show up, or they will be in your backyard, I promise.
Good stuff.
Jim?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Public Works, Mayor, the only thing I have is the RFP 2017-02, the high school lift station. That project was sent to bid by the board a month and a half ago. We opened bids Friday. You should have in your packet the two the bidders that submitted last week, which was AAG Services out of Panama City and Pumping Process Equipment Incorporated. The low bid of the two was Pump and Process Equipment at $65,210. You should also have an email from our engineering firm where their review was done on that, and my recommendation is concurrent with theirs, obviously, that the board approve the low bidders who move forward on this project.
Well, John, I mean, I'll speak up. This just got laid in front of me today, and in the absence of further information, I would always go with the lowest bidder. But I haven't had a chance to review this back, and I'd love to table it, but I know that it's kind of an emergency situation.
Have you people doing work for us before? Yes, sir, this is the same company that we bought the lift station compressor from. It's the same one that was submitted on the emergency basis a month and a half ago.
I will say this, the bid he gave us, back in February the 2nd to do this work was $55,000 for the pumping process. I talked to our engineer today, he said they changed some of the specs, mostly in the pump area, so I guess the pumps are $12,000 more than the pumps he was gonna put in the first time. But the same company, so we, it is what it is. Cost went up, I guess.
John, let me ask you.
And it's different, it is different. I talked to Clay about it, and some of the specs are different.
Better call.
John, did the pumps cost us $12,000 more?
Yeah, it's hard to say. The two areas that were changed was the discharge size from 3 inch to 4 inch and the pump requirements.
Is that
I-
$12,000?
Should.
I tell you, and, I'm gonna make a motion that we move forward with pumping process. I wasn't at the meeting when this went down, but I've been told all this time, we need to listen to staff, we need to listen to staff. We need to be good stewards of our tax money, okay? We put this out for bid after staff comes to us and says that it's an emergency. John wasn't even at that meeting, but we voted on it anyhow. Now, we're spending $10,000 more than what we initially would have. I don't know if that's because of pumps or because the guy was doing John a favor at $55,000 because it was an emergency. And now we come back and we cost the taxpayers an extra $10,000. I would like for you to let me know, John, on that, what the extra cost is on that. But I'm gonna make a motion for us to move forward with the pumping process. But if it be the case that we're just because we wanted to go back out for bid for it after it was an emergency situation, and it cost us $10,000 more, that gives me heartburn.
I'll second the discussion,
I've got a motion by Commissioner Thursby, a second by Commissioner Brazil.
yeah, and
Discussion.
I talked to Clay quite a bit today, and he indicated to me that the changes were made, for the better. And there's nothing wrong with the first one, but after engineering it, they did find a few little things in there that would benefit us in the future. So, I was satisfied with the reasoning behind this, we're spending more money. So,
And I'll agree with Commissioner Thursby. In his words, I feel like we've been hoodooed.
But I don't.
I want to make sure that the changes that were made.
After talking to Clay,
Yeah.
I don't.
I have not
I don't
talked
think-
to our engineer.
Clay, could you come forward, please?
Yeah. That's a big jump. It was
Sure.
like $10,000 more worth of time.
And after, I thought, Commissioner Brazil, we called the pumping process, said, listen, this is gonna come up tonight. So what's the $10,000 difference? And
Sure.
It was exactly what John just said. It was the pump change, and going from 3 to 4 inch on the discharge piping, which is stainless steel piping, so, it's not cheap material, there's no doubt. So that was his reasoning. It was those two things mainly, was the $10,000. The pump you are getting is a more efficient pump than it was a month and a half ago, I think. It was 40-some% efficient last, this one's 60-some%. It's a more efficient pump, it'll run better, and it'll fit your needs.
And the warranty is,
It's a 5-year warranty, it's a good warranty, which is,
That was the same.
but that was right the first time. Those were the two changes, the different pump, and the size discharge pipe.
John,
That was based
necessary
on discharge size, so we do, because it was assuming it was 4 inches, it turned out to 6.
That's right, so, that's right. So the reason the pump changed, some things that were assumed in February, we really, John's folks, field verified what was in the ground. That changed. So what was assumed in February, after John field verified it, it was different. That's why the pump had to change. So it's not that you had a pump that probably would have worked okay, and all of a sudden you get a Cadillac and it's going to.
We had a bogus bid.
You really got now the pump that you needed all along.
But I can find the difference.
John, are you, the bid we got last, a month and a half ago and this one, are you comfortable with spending the extra money and going with this, 65 bid with the upgraded equipment? Or can we utilize what was bid in the first place?
No, we should definitely, based on what we discovered, go with the larger pump because of the discharge. The question was asked to me was a $10,000 difference. I don't know. I didn't talk to him.
That was the reason they gave me the answer. A little bit from the pump change, a little bit from the discharge piping size change, and then just the cost of stainless.
We budgeted for this, right?
We got $80,000 in there for upgrades.
We had money for it, yeah.
We had a blank.
If y'all both agree,
All right.
we're not
Any further
engineers.
discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries passes 5-0.
The only thing I have, Mr. Mayor, is I'd like to get your permission to excuse me while you're somebody else.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Go. We could have let you win first.
No, it's okay.
You're always out for the youth. Board. People. Well, Larry.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. For the record, Operator Joe Harris has passed his Class C water state license exam. He did that on his first try, and he also did it in less than 11 months.
All right. That's good.
Tell him we're very proud of him.
I will. I'll get back to you. That's all I have. Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. Anything for Larry? All right. Kevin.
We're standard run mode. Saw a little bit of algae a couple of weeks ago. Almost been serious. It's kind of disseminated a little bit from the cold. Sampling it was really nice. That kind of stuff. So, standard run. Appreciate it.
I do have to ask one question for my old buddy who used to sit on the board with me, Bill McCrone. How are the grit keepers doing?
We're ticking.
Good.
Just they're doing their thing every, they're doing their standard cycle.
Right.
Good shape.
All right.
So just,
How about our torpedo tank or whatever?
we,
Got the rope
one
on
of
the
the
working end?
instructors is cracked, cavity cracked, so it's now sent us another sheet and all. We have 5 out of the 6. We're working on that.
All right. Anything else for Kevin? City engineer.
8:15.
On board.
So we met, earlier today with the contractor on the boat ramp project, kind of go over some things, just a pre-construction meeting, but, we spent some time talking about impacts on the ramp, timing, what can be expected,
Time out.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask for a 5-minute recess.
Go ahead.
I was told by the ethics commission we need to do that.
Really?
Yeah. I just went. He said, if you want to have somebody leave the room in case of the vote come up, you should have a 5-minute recess. So 5-minute recess.
Mayor, Good job, yeah, you're back to that.
I did my Sarah stuff today too. I'll email.
It was a non-issue, but.
At the ramp this morning with the contractor and really his two major subs, so all the players were there. We're talking about the sequencing of that construction and how we can minimize the impact of the traffic at the ramp, launching the ramp. How can we keep one lane open at all times? The schedule they originally submitted, whenever last time, had a period of about 5 weeks in the middle that both ramps would be closed. So, had some, what I think was good discussion. And they are on board with essentially starting the north side, starting that first, and working that all the way through until they're complete with it, which they think they can be done before Memorial Day. And that would leave, Memorial Day, those 2 or 3 days around that, whatever, both ramps will be open. So while they're working on this side, you only have this ramp closed. The south ramp will remain open. This will be completion for Memorial Day. During that Memorial Day period, both lanes will be back open. After Memorial Day, they will swap to the south side, close the south ramp while the north remains open, and work on the south side. So they felt like, they explained that the reason in their schedule why they had a 5-week period to close it was to try to meet that 90-day or 100-day contract time. And that if they could get some help with the overall contract time, overall length of it, that they could build the project in such a manner that just described that we keep one lane open at all times. So what we told them basically was, we bring it here tonight and present that, and let the commission weigh in on it. So ultimately, we'll take direction from y'all, but that's kind of where we were at, where we left it with them today.
I feel like that's the best thing that could have happened with that meeting this morning, because my phone was blown up all week or whatever. Once we found out it could be up to 5 weeks, we would get barbecue. It is gonna be an inconvenience, just one side being done, but the end result's gonna be worth all the pain we have to go through for it. As long as we can keep one side at all times open, I'm fine with giving them another 6 weeks. And I appreciate everybody trying to champion and make that happen. I was actually at a TDC meeting this morning, could not make it, but hey, we made it happen. I appreciate y'all for doing that. I think that the people I've all talked to have been happy with that.
And thank you, Clay, for championing that. I told them there this morning, I actually went to that meeting, that if we brought back to the commission tonight that we had to close that ramp for 5 weeks, then we'd be looking at delaying the project until after Labor Day. And so they made it happen. And Clay and Jim and even our city attorney spoke up and kind of figured it out.
Clay, I appreciate your work. Well, one thing I do want to say is, it's not the city's fault. DEP is administering these NERDA projects, and they're delaying them. And I know DEP is not administering this particular one, I believe FWC is, but you take the Veterans Memorial Park out, St. Joe Beach, Beacon Hill, it's been delayed. The Highland View Boat Ramp, nothing going on there, it's been delayed. So it is not the city's fault by any means, but we're just gonna have to deal with it. And I know it's gonna be rough down there, but I just want everybody to know that it's not our fault.
Yeah, I've got some concerns. I think you guys got the same email of one individual concerned, even with one side open, about materials and where they're gonna be and all. There's always gonna be liabilities.
I've talked to him, but I've convinced him that he just needs to simmer down.
This is the best plan, and this is what we have to do, and we just have to do it. We've got a little extra money for change order of contingencies, I think, in that budget, so I think we're good to go.
Since we're changing that, I think probably get through a vote
Yeah.
that y'all are okay.
Yes,
So the start date would be April 3rd. That's when they're going to be on site and start.
I'll make a motion to extend the contract by 60 days.
5 weeks.
About 5 weeks. I'll say that.
All got a motion, Commissioner Ashbrook, second by Commissioner Burris. Any further discussion? All in favor favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0.
The last two I had, real quick, Long Avenue on the water side on our plans, we'll have those by the end of the month. So we get those to John so he can begin really pricing those out. And then the Jones Homestead sewer is out there, and we'll make progress on that. We got some time. That's all I had tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Code enforcement, demolition project.
Yes, sir. I talked with, the County Attorney Jeremy Novak on Friday. He said he was gonna be getting with Mr. Butler on, changing the documents to only include the 3 houses instead of the 4. So it should be moving along the next week or 2.
All right. We got some houses we're taking down. We're looking at first 4, 5 to 4, now we're down to 3 for one reason or another. People decided they didn't want to pull down. They're gonna remodel them instead, so that's good. And then you can see code enforcement report there. Richie's sending everybody, I hope. I got mine. All right. Police department.
I don't have anything tonight, Mayor, unless the board has questions for me.
Anything for the chief tonight?
No, I do just want to say though is, out in the community, I talk to a lot of people, I've been talking to a lot of people, and it's not a day, and I don't wanna talk too much, because I don't want his head to get big, but I heard just this weekend, the people say, man, you can tell that the different chief in town with the way things are running, and they were all talking about the things that being involved in the school, being at the park, giving away helmets, all these things, and, you know, when we hired you, that was exactly what I talked to you about, I wanted, and I appreciate you standing behind what you said you would do. So, that's all I got.
I appreciate the positive feedback.
All right, Ms. City Clerk.
Yes, sir. Last Friday, I sent each of you an email. The contract that you have with DES of Florida for me to work for the city expires March 31st. I sent a request to you. I've enjoyed my 10-plus years with the city. I would like to continue it. And it's just a funding source. The funding previously, all funding is in the budget. It has been sent to DES to pay me because of going through the drop program with the Florida retirement system. I have not resigned. I have not done anything like that. It's just whether the city pays me or DES pays me, and I would appreciate your support of the request so we can continue working.
I think it's a reasonable request, and just looking at that first paragraph, just a few of the things that Ms. Charlotte does for us is unbelievable. So, gosh, I hope she's here long after I'm gone.
I know, I spoke to her this afternoon, and I told her we definitely want her here to stay. And I told her my position, that I felt like, I agree that we kind of continue to go this, as it is right now. The current situation as it stands today is what I'm for.
Then I'll move back on that too, Commissioner Lyer, that, we got something that's working right now. Let's continue this contract if they'll allow it. That's kind of where I'm looking at this
So
point.
you're talking about continuing
Just
with
continue for another
DES.
year with DES. Just keep it going forward and keep it going.
That's not what we were talking about anyway.
It will cost you more money to stay with DES than what I was asking in my letter. It's about $2,600 a year more for you to go through DES, yes, sir.
How much more per year, $8,000?
No, sir, $2,600, the difference,
Okay.
if you stay with DES.
And with us, you're not asking for any benefits.
Just what I had before I went with DES, the phone,
Right.
the 3
But
weeks
no
vacation.
health insurance.
No, sir, I'm not asking for health insurance, nor would you be paying into the Florida retirement system, which is about $5,000 more a year, and the insurance is around, I believe it's 12, somewhere along there. So that would be a savings, not to have someone else.
Yeah. I believe in saving money where we can.
And that's my question is the money. I was under the impression that it was cheaper to go through DES.
No,
That's
sir.
the only reason why I made that suggestion.
No, sir.
And I was really under the impression that we were just doing the same thing we did before. before, but I see now what we're saying, I guess it just took us a little slow there, I guess.
Tell me this, Ms. Charlotte, if we, how does DES work? If we say we wanna take a look at it, would they do it for a month? Because I know that you're up 31st.
Yes, the 34th. I don't know that they would do it for a month.
Yeah.
Usually it's much longer, but it's a savings to the city for you to bring me back under your umbrella.
I understand, and I don't see, I don't have that, and that's, ugh.
And is this what year to year?
Yeah.
No, sir.
I mean,
DES was for 1 year,
Right, 1 year.
yes, sir. But with the city, it would not be an annual.
What would it be with the city? Just a monthly thing? I mean, okay, we signed it left, we signed it, once you come, I mean, is that what happens? Is that what you're saying?
Currently, right now, Mayor, myself and Ms. Pierce, we both work at will for the city commission. Everybody else, all the other employees work under me, but by the city charter, me and her work directly for the board. That's how it works.
Well,
I've got the email, I just don't have the savings.
I had that.
there's no,
FRS contribution.
No, sir, because I've completed the drop program.
you know, I talked to Miss Charlotte about this, and I guess in a way I didn't know what I was talking about, but guys, it's savings to the city, to the county, to the city for that, at $3,000, we're not paying any insurance, and we're asking the thing, we're trying to be good stewards of the tax money, the best thing to do is bring Miss Charlotte back,
What's
as the request is.
the salary? Are you asking for a salary increase?
There's a slight one. I did not receive a raise last year because when I was with DES, the city gave, in some cases, the cost of living as well as dollar per hour to some individuals. So I did not receive a raise while I was with DES. This would be, yes, sir.
I'd like to just go ahead and make a motion, we all had just to review it, I'd like to make a motion that we bring, Ms. Pierce back on, under the city umbrella, under the, items, that's presented to us.
Yeah.
And with that, there is no year contract, what you said.
No, sir.
Now, Jim, you don't need a contract.
Did somebody make
I have a 3-year.
He has a 3-year.
The only person by the city charter that can have a contract is a city manager.
I'll second that.
Yeah, I didn't understand, maybe should
I didn't either, and I'm not saying it would've changed me either way, that's not what I'm saying, but I guess I don't know FRS and DRS and all this, but my second stance is to go with the request.
All right, who made the motion on that?
I did.
We got a motion by Commissioner Brissette, do we have a second?
I second.
Second by Commissioner Thurman, any further discussion?
Savings.
Savings to the city. I'm not saving money.
Most of the time.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Likewise, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you, gentlemen. I look forward to continuing working with you. The next item that I would like to mention to you is the city election. Qualifying begins tomorrow, March 22nd, runs through March the 29th. The early voting will be April 29th through May the 6th, and the actual election day is May the 9th. That will be at the fire station, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m.
That it?
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Citizens to be heard, anyone in the audience like to speak? Come on up, baby. You don't go that mighty fast. You want to do first, didn't you?
That's right, I wanna do first, but get it over with.
Early bird gets the worm.
Okay, this morning I went out to the courthouse, and they're making an access, handicap entrance to the courthouse. So I wanna thank whoever is doing that, whether it's the city or the county, that's a good thing.
Is this at
And
the
this is
courthouse?
to the front, yes,
That's the
front
county.
entrance, yes.
We'll take credit.
Family doing it.
The county doing that?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, thank the county then.
All right, we will, we'll pass it on to them for you.
Okay, and I want to give thanks to the Auburn students. they did a marvelous job while they were here in Fort St. John. The only thing I regret that the weather was not the best, but they did a good job.
Yes.
And I would think, yes, I want to thank that. And that's it. I don't have any negative stuff tonight.
Take care.
I have no questions that you guys can't answer either.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Anyone else in the audience wish to speak on anything?
Hello, how y'all doing?
All right, how you doing?
I don't need no mic, I bet there.
You know, I don't know.
All right, first I'm gonna introduce, first I wanna thank the mayor and the county chamber coming, everybody, let everybody know how I appreciate y'all giving me this opportunity to speak to everybody. But first, my name is Robert Lee Farmer Jr. I graduated in 1976. That's right, Fort St. Joe went to the championship. Don't hate on me if y'all ain't win that. That's right, and I think, and at that time I had some mentors. And start off with Mr. Clifton and Mr. Martha Sandberg. And the reason why we had a good relationship because I was born in Hartford, Alabama. Back in the days, I picked cotton, I did a whole 9 yards, so they Mr. Clifton right on time. Now Robert and Sandy, they didn't like it, but we had to do that all the time. And then I had Miss Green and Miss Patterson. And then I had the great people like Mr. Carl White and Coach Wayne Taylor, Coach Lewis, Coach Cole, Coach Stevens, all them guys, man. And every time I come to football practice, they always tell me, Robert, well, no matter what you do, I want you to learn how to get back to the community. No matter how you do it, he said, you'll get your blessing. I said, okay, Coach Taylor, I'm going to do exactly like that. So I had an opportunity with the Alabama A&M University, played football there, then transferred to the University of Southern Mississippi. But even though when I was at them two colleges, I did a lot of work working in the community. And I thought, man, I said, I guess God want me to do this, so I'm going to try to do the right thing. And then I did something that I really loved, join the United States Army. And now I was in logistics, so that means I'm supposed to be out, but I did something crazy. I joined the Rangers, then I went Airborne, then I went Air Assault, then I went Pathfinder. I did some stupid stuff like going for the EIB and infantry. But I did that because I was thinking about what Coach Taylor said, hey, you might be in logistics, but you might have to fight, so you better know what you're doing. So I said, yeah. So that's the reason why I'm paying for it now, y'all think you know that. But I thank for them 10 years that the Army gave me because it taught me about discipline, leadership, and how the esprit de corps, lead by example, set example. So I got in 86. 87, I got out, I was in Tampa. I worked for the state, worked with juvenile because I figured that they needed help. And sometimes when you work with juvenile come from different areas, different backgrounds. And when you do that, you just can't put one kid at the same as the others. Because you got to look like they're the background. And I learned from the state. So as I was getting ready to go, I had an opportunity for Atlanta. And then I met with Guy Daniel. He said, Robert, guess what? I need you to do me a favor. Since you work for the state, we need to start a boot camp. And since you was an drill sergeant, I need your help before we go with this operation procedure. I said, okay, we're right to stand operation procedure. So I stayed for about 6 months. Everything was running smooth. There's one thing I got to tell y'all. If you stand by that standard operation procedure, I guarantee you can't go wrong. But if you ever go outside, and I learned this in the corporate world, you're gonna make mistakes. So at that time, I was hoping that my whole thing was not only just that I helped with the boot camp, but I had a lot of veterans that come out with drill sergeant experience, like Air Force, anything, they could have an opportunity to get a job. But so things happened. But I was in ATL, Atlanta. So when I was in Atlanta, I did a lot of work with juveniles and working with kids and stuff. And God blessed me with 3 girls. Number one is my oldest daughter, who is right now in medical school. She's taking a break. And my other daughter is named Tiana Farmer. She just came from Peace Corps. So you see what I'm trying to get to. And then I have my youngest daughter, who's at SCAG of Atlanta. But at all the time, they'll tell you, no matter what situation, we always volunteer to work. Because I had that installment with all these coaches. And I can't let them down. That was in my heart. So now I can't fight because my mother-in-law. She have all that. And my promise to her that she would never be in a nursing home. She's at home with us. Thank God for that. So I come back and I see my community. I don't like what I see. And I'm not trying to say that I'm going to try to be the Martin Luther King or Malcolm X and all the great leaders like that, but I had some people that was in my life, like Miss Patterson, Miss Green, I'm saying, hey, Robert, you'll fight. No matter, you're going to have to fight. because some people ain't gonna understand where you're coming from. So here I am. I come by and I see the school down there at Washington High. I'm looking at the kids I see out there on the street because I know they're trying to find a job, but they can't find a job. So my whole idea, I talked to Ms. Bowles, like, hey, check this out. I would love to have opportunity to be a liaison to make sure that the kids, like from in the ninth grade, from the 7th grade to the 9th grade, we give them something every other Friday or every other Saturday, have a little dance out there, an opportunity to do something that go for both sides of the party. Not just on the African American, but everybody. Because this is what it's all about. See, when I was playing with Coach Taylor, he told me the only thing you see is purple and gold. Man, we had some good guys, Ray Lawrence, all of them. So that's why we won a championship, because we didn't see the color. What we seen was a thing. The only way you can win, you got to be together. You can't be separated. Once you start separating yourself, then that's when you lose. And that's what I like about Coach Taylor. He was a great man in my life. And I missed him right now because I wish he was here, because they'd be beside him. But I know his spirit is within me, and Miss Sanders is in there too, because I know she's going to tell me, Robert, suck it up like Coach Taylor tell you to do. That's his main word. So my whole goal is now, is like from the 10th to the 12th grade, I would like to have something for them on Saturday, every other Saturday. But we could have something that we could have show love and let the kids know that how much we appreciate it. And see what happened is, if you're in this box in Port St. Joe, and you never leave out of it, you're going to have that same encounter the same way. But if you step out, you see different things. Like I went to Germany, overseas and all that stuff, in California and stuff like that. You see beautiful things that you know what, I want to put back in my community. Working with Jose Williams, all them, me and my daughter, I used to take them out there. Just seeing the beautiful thing that you could do. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect at what I do, but I am a person, I'm not a politician. That's my problem. That's what my officers are telling me. Bob, you're not a politician. I say, I can't be a politician. I'm a man that when you tell me something, and you tell me how you want to do it, I'm going at it. And that's the way I am. Just like Coach Taylor said, when I say go at the one hole, if you see it, cut back, baby, I got you. And he always tell me, I got to bite like a sweater. All you got to do is put me on. So I got him on. And the whole thing I want is just work in my community and do what I want to do the best for my community. And I see what's out there is lost. And I just want to bring it back. And I know a lot of people don't like the way I say things, the way I do things, because I'm not a person that's very patient, because I see something that is hurting me. And I don't want to let the people who inspire me to be the best that I could be. If it wasn't for them, then I wouldn't be here talking to you. I'd probably be right in that same old box, thinking the same way. You see what I'm talking about? And I told the mayor that, like for instance, like Black History Month, I would love us to have something within the community, not only just in our side of the community, but right there comes. You got a path out there. If you give me an opportunity to show you what we could do for, like Appalachia, I could bring fraternities, like I'm an Omega Psi Phi fraternity. Everybody don't know who that is. Q dog. That's right. And sorority. That's right. I keep it real.
Community service.
Thank you, baby.
Okay.
I'm gonna let her talk in a few minutes, but
I don't have
yeah. But I would like to bring that type of atmosphere when they have step teams and stuff like that, for everybody to see what our inheritance about and what it's all about. We can have out and show love and everything. What happened? Go ahead, baby.
In summary, he just wants to bring various organizations here to interact with the youth, to inspire them. I actually work with some of the youth out there at North Florida as a case manager, and I'm helping some of them prepare college applications. A lot of them don't even know how to do that. So he wants to just kind of have like a little hub for people. And because what we do, Port St. Joe has produced great people. We want to continue to do that. We don't want, economic disparity or hopelessness to prevent them from being the best that they can be. And, not everyone is blessed or born with a silver spoon in their mouth. I certainly wasn't. I definitely, my parents worked hard and I had to work hard. That's how I got into medical school. But I would like everyone within this community to also have that same opportunity. So I think we summed it up pretty much. The liaison thing. Oh, so we do have Dominican in our family, and I do speak Spanish. I also translate for the people out in North Florida. And we will have like a Cinco de Mayo celebration. We're also doing something at the library for the Latino culture. So my dad also wants to kind of infuse that and welcome both, all the other different cultures that are represented here. We also have like a small Asian population and that kind of thing as well. So just kind of, it's all about community and just involving everybody. not letting.
And one more thing, just to let you know that, I don't know, baby, and furthermore. One more thing, I'm not gonna take it, I know you have a short time, but I'm just telling y'all that my whole thing is that, like I talked to the man, that, man, I'm working hard, but I would like to have the kids play against the sheriff department, the police department. No, the basketball, but they can't play football, they can't do that. Not nowadays, we barely can run, but I'm just saying like a softball team, you know, but we can have that community. And, one thing I did learn by a guy today, he did give me, I had opportunity to talk to certain high school kids. I wanted not only just for African American, but all kids, is how to act and react when you get stopped by an officer. All right?
Interact with law
Right.
enforcement.
And the main thing I taught them was, my class was that if you ever get stopped, put both hands on the steering wheel. Let the windows down. And then be very polite. And then if the officer asks you what you're doing, say, sir, you know, you go like you give them the whole name. Like I say, I don't have no alcohol, no drugs, nothing, whatever. If I did anything, let me know what I did wrong. Keep both hands up. If people that's sitting in the chat do the same thing.
Just bringing back respect and
Respect to the community.
interaction, so.
That's it. Y'all got it?
Wow.
Thank you.
I
love my baby.
You know, just bring us your ideas and we'll see what we do.
All right, like I said, I just want to be a liaison for the city. And if y'all give me the opportunity, I guarantee you, the money that y'all bringing in now with this city, now you have people that's coming out like, whoa, look what St. Joe has for the whole community. Like, what was it, St. Patrick's Day? Yeah, I would love that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Y'all,
Thank you for your
y'all have a
time.
blessed one. Sorry to waste y'all time, man, but.
We didn't waste time, let's go.
Huh?
Would you please come here?
Robert, thank you so much.
All right,
My
man.
name
Robert, Chief's already started something with the young kids.
Right.
With
Yeah. But I was just
R-I-U-S. Last name is Farmer.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yeah. That's why I can dance so good when I'm running on the football. Let's go.
Thank you, Robert.
All right.
Anyone else? Come on up.
It's a pleasure for me to follow Robert. And
All right.
I'm so pleased to see someone so passionate about the community. I'm new here, here 2 years in January, but I recently joined the North Port St. Joe Rehab Coalition. And I'm very pleased to be volunteering to represent that community. And I'm looking forward to working with you, the council, and meeting some of the needs that might not have been met for the north side. So,
Thank you so much.
Your name?
my name is Cheryl Steindorf.
Thank you for your involvement in our community.
Anyone else? Any other citizens wish to speak? All right, that's the case. We'll start with you tonight, Mr. Thursday.
I just got one thing, let me find it, I got sidetracked, sorry about that. I wanted to, thank John, staff, and, police chief, we got some new speed limit signs that we talked about on the circles. Here within the community to drop the speed a little bit, and, that's all I got tonight.
All right. Mr. Ashbrook.
I wish John were here. My very first meeting 2 years ago, at least 4 of you remember my very first motion was to remove that dangerous bridge between 18th and 19th Street. Well, I'm glad to say Monday they tore that thing up and got it out of there. So, I guess my first motion's been accomplished. Another thing I have is for Jim. The sound system, the cameras, where are we at on that here? The quality of the video is just terrible. You can't hear anything.
I'd had one of the guys from the county come out and look at it. I need to follow him.
Okay. I mean, I'd love to get that done sooner than later.
I'll make a phone call.
I could see people, but I couldn't hear a word that was being said.
I'm hearing that.
Yeah. Next thing, as well, for Jim, the grant writer, have we put that out on the paper yet to look for?
No, we actually tabled it. We discussed it at one of the meetings on there, and we tabled it for.
Can I stick that back on the next agenda?
Yes, sir.
All right, and then, last thing, I got a call back from Representative Brashear's office about our appropriations that we've asked for. All we're waiting on, they're there. They're very aware of them. They have to write them in the bill form, and they'll go to subcommittee, the ag subcommittee. We're gonna be notified, and they highly recommended that a representative or somebody, or 2 or 3, go up there and sit at that meeting discussing it. We're asking for a pretty substantial sum.
When is it, what's the
It's
date?
not, there's no date. I asked her to ask me, I said, 1, 2, 3 months. She said, I can't tell you. The bill hasn't been written yet. So, she's gonna notify us of when, and I'll let us know, and we can hopefully get a small group of people together to go up there. And that is all that I have.
Mr. Mazet?
I wasn't gonna have anything, but I came up with one thing for sure, is I'd like to get Jim and staff to fix that back door back there that keeps flying open. We won't have Andy Schoaf here every week to keep closing it for me every time it slams around. But could you see about fixing that door so when somebody opens it, it will close back? And the other thing is, I've been trying to exercise a little lately, and so I've been on our wonderful walking path. It's great. I've walked it up from Fifth Street all the way to the end of it, but there's one problem that keeps cropping up is the walking path between 20th Street and the elementary school. It goes through the woods.
Dark.
No, it's not dark. People are walking their animals, and they're letting their animals do their job right in the middle of the walking path. Now, be a responsible pet owner. Let them go on the side or something, but more than once, right in the middle, and I walk mostly in the mornings, but time change, so it's probably afternoon, but I wish the young man would put a little blurb in the paper, please be a responsible pet owner. We want all our citizens to enjoy that walking path. And if you got an animal and he decides to do his job in the middle of it, at least clean it up.
We need some of those little dogs that you see on the beach, you know, like I said, nose on it.
I guess, but that's all I've got.
I got, just to tag on you with the trail, the walking trail, there is an event going on this Saturday, the Florida Archaeology something or another, at 9:30 across from the Centennial Building. They're gonna have a scavenger hunt, along the walking trail in our community, and that should be a fun event. It's free to attend, they have prizes, it should be a good time. 9:30 at the Centennial Building.
And, I would just like to thank everybody for coming out tonight. We wanna make sure we get plenty of, citizen participation at our meetings. I wish each and every one of you is here tonight would invite a friend to come the next time. Sometimes our meetings can get boring, but sometimes they get pretty lively too. With that, I need a motion to adjourn.